Hello, welcome to step 3 of lesson 5 of Adobe Illustrator CC 2013 book for a classroom in a book. We're going to be adding some anchor points, really kind of working on taking this little shape looking like an ice cream. So we're going to select this cherry. We're on page 162 in the text. Take our selection tool, keyboard shortcut V, and that one over there. We're going to do a Command C, and we're just going to deselect, paste. I kind of place it anywhere. I want to move it to the top of this ice cream shape. And we're in the ice cream artboard. And what we're going to do is kind of adjust the ice cream. So we're going to click at this ice cream, object, arrange, bring to front. So the ice cream is on top. And we're going to work on adding anchor points and deleting anchor points. So I'm going to zoom in a little more. And if we drop down, we have add anchor points or delete anchor points. If I click the add anchor points, the little plus, anywhere on the path I can add an anchor point. We're going to add 2, 1 to each side. Then we're going to do our direct selection tool, keyboard shortcut A. And the anchor points we added, we're just going to move this up a little to make it look like kind of the ice cream is sitting within the cherry. We can always make movements later. And oops, my bad. There's some other things you can always, so we can add, we can move things around, and we can also kind of move these handles too. And sometimes you want to make sure you're double clicking on what you want to do. Change. To really kind of give it some movement. And we're going to do kind of the opposite. We're going to scroll to the bottom and we're going to actually add some anchor points and delete. So if I press plus on my keyboard, it's the keyboard shortcut, we're going to add one there and there. And we're going to do press negative on our keyboard and we're going to delete an anchor point, and that's just going to shorten something. And that's on step 13 on page 163. And you may want to do convert anchor point. Kind of play around with the handles. Maybe kind of has some different movement to it. So we're going to go in our artboards to spoon 3. And we're going to take this kind of sharp edge and we're going to kind of make it have some movement. So we're going to kind of zoom in near the top of the spoon, take our direct selection tool, keyboard shortcut A, and we're going to position it over the upper left corner point. So this anchor right here, and when the open, so I'm going to try to zoom in closer. So you can kind of see there's a little square right next to my direct selection tool, and that's kind of when it's on an anchor point. And make sure that is selected. You can double click it to be sure. And our control panel changes up here. It says anchor point there. It says what is selected. And we're going to go change the convert anchor points to smooth anchor points button, which is there. So it takes those sharp edges and smooths them out. And it kind of does a big push. And what we're going to do, we're going to take this handle in a little. We don't need it so harsh. Do the same on the other. And pull those handles in. And you kind of want them to match. The best you can. And so what we're gonna, so once that's done, we're gonna go to Dish, Step 2, and we're gonna draw a selection with our direct selection tool near the top. So we're selecting the top anchor points 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to do kind of the opposite. So up over here, we're going to change that to corner. And it kind of gives it a really sharp angle. And if we go to our layers and show our template, we can kind of see how it kind of changes how things look there. Let's actually put our template on, get a selection tool, and drawing on the path, moving our selection over so it matches, so we can kind of see the difference on what we did there. And so with the Convert Anchor Point tool, we're going to select the D anchor points and convert them to corner points. So we're going to take the 2 Ds, so that would be a D and that one, and I can kind of draw a selection box right there with my direct selection tool, because I'm only selecting anchor points. And taking them to sharp angles so it kind of points up. You can kind of look at the pictures on 165. So we're going to position our pointer, our direct selection tool A, over on C. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of reshape it. Now if we just move it down, it's not going to do anything. So we need the Convert Anchor Point tool, which is Shift C, and our keyboard is going to look like that. And we're adding a handle. So we're going to pull down to build that curve. We're going to do B the same way. Essentially what we're doing is we're reshaping the path, and we actually don't want that. And if you're curious on how we're reshaping the path, you can always look at our artwork. So we want a nice flat top where it's curved over here. And it's why you always keep your artwork open. So we want the top to be nice and flat, but we want the sides to be curved. So we're going to do the same over here. And have a nice curve to it. We want to redo this side. Take that handle back to B. Kind of visually try to match them up best you can. And we're going to actually use the scissor tool to elongate over here. So we're on page 166, and we're going to go to our keyboard to select all on active artboard, or everything that you can, and we're going to take the scissor tool. The scissor tool is under the eraser tool right there, and the scissor tool cuts up paths. So over around E, we're just going to kind of cut it between each point. And you kind of just tell it, cut there, cut there. If we kind of zoom in, and it's made a cut. So what we can do is our selection, if we zoom out, is cut there. And we're just going to nudge it down a couple times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to elongate it, and we're going to join it by selecting both objects with a Shift J for join. I'm going to do it twice for each path. Now our shape is completely closed by just making it a little bit bigger. The next thing we're going to do is actually take a pause on this video, and then the next video we'll do dashed lines, cutting with the knife tool, and work on the next step.